Hello everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, hello! Welcome to a 5-star predictions video. This is for the books that I hope to read in 2025, also some books that are releasing in 2025 that I hope to be 5 stars. So let's get into it. Anytime I do one of these videos, I second guess myself doing one of these videos so many times because I realize how deeply I do not expect books to be 5 stars when I go into them. I just expect to have a good time. That's really it. I don't expect them to be like all-time new favorites, and that's what my 5 stars are. So it's a little weird setting out to be like, this is gonna be 5 stars, but I just finished my very first 5-star of the year, which is The Principal Moments by Esme J.K. Pearson. This one, in enjoyment and experience, is 5 stars. It's like technically a 4.5 star, but it's fine. I'm counting it as the very first 5-star of the year because I had such a fun time reading it and buddy reading this with my beautiful friend Allie that it just made this book a 5-star, the whole experience of reading it. So this inspired me because I knew going in, I was like, watch this be the first 5-star of the year. So this was my very first prediction to be a first 5-star of the year, and I was correct. So let's see if any of these other books are 5-star predictions. I have a whole bunch here, but we're also going to talk about the ones that are coming out in 2025 that I believe will be 5 stars, and I have hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams. But off my shelves, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books, which was very hard and took me like 30 minutes to pinpoint. So we're just gonna get into it. Very first one here is the third and final book in one of my favorite sci-fi trilogies of all time, and that is the Divide series by J.S. Dewes, or Duez, or however you say her last name. This is The Relentless Legion. It is book 3. Do I know if it's the final book in this series, even though I just said it's the conclusion? I don't actually know. And I'm second guessing myself because on my previous like sit down video where I talked about the series that I want to focus on this year, I got Iron Widow wrong. I thought Iron Widow was a duology. It's a trilogy. So now I'm second guessing everything because there's nothing on this book that says it's the conclusion. We'll find out. But I have high hopes for this one because book 1 and 2 were so close to being a 5-star that I think book 3 is just going to knock it out of the park. I plan on rereading the first 2 books to get into this one, so maybe even book 1 or 2 is going to be bumped up to a 5-star. I don't know, but I have hopes that this one is going to be 5 stars. I love this series so much. It is such a beautiful, expansive series. It feels so cinematic and so big in a star galactic type of feeling. But it's also so human because we are focusing on 2 characters, Ada Quinrake and Cavalon Mercer, and their relationship with each other is completely platonic, and it's just so good. It's so good. So I can't wait. I can't wait to read this one. I can't wait to reread all 3 and dive into that one. But yeah, that is the 3rd book in the series, so I won't tell you what that one is about because spoilers. We also have another 3rd book in the series, which is Ruin by John Gwynne. This I'm predicting to be 5 stars because book 1 and 2 or like a 4-star and then a 4.5 star. They just keep getting better. I love John Gwynne so deeply. So this one, I have a feeling is going to be 5 stars. I've heard like nothing about what happens in this book, but I have heard that this book will destroy me. So I'm excited. I'm excited. And then after this comes Wrath, which is the final one in the series. So hopefully this one's a 5-star. If not, this one Wrath will be, but like I have high hopes. It's John Gwynne. So high hopes. This whole series is epic. Old man fantasy, slower, multi-POV that is vast and covers not only the good side, but also the bad side. This is a better version of an old man fantasy book. If you liked Game of Thrones, pick this series up. So good, so good. Another sequel, not necessarily the 3rd one in the series, but this is the 2nd one, is The Unrelenting Earth by Kritika Rao. I'm putting this one on the list because the very first one was 4.5 stars and blew me away last year, so I'm hoping very tentatively that this one's going to be 5 stars. Tentatively because 2nd books in series don't always hit for me. Usually they have the 2nd book syndrome, but I have hopes. I've read only 1 book by Kritika Rao and I loved it so much and it blew me the fuck out of the water. So I really, really hope that this one is good. This is a absolutely brilliantly written series about a Raven and a Hylia who are a married couple. In the first book, everything is kind of focused on their marriage as the world around them is also crumbling. So like it's more personal than any fantasy I've ever read, but it is also around their relationship has just the most fascinating magic that I don't quite understand, and really, really cool world building that reminds me of like Critical Role's Exandria Unlimited Aeor vibes, and also like Loquacious and Laren. I know it's not Aeor, can't remember where they were, but the Calamity vibes, there we go. Loquacious and Laren vibes, and also like N.K. Jemisin's Big Storm vibes from the Broken Earth trilogy. It's got those vibes. So good. So I'm excited to keep reading this trilogy with this one. Next, we have Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower, or Sower, however you say that word. This one, if it's not 5 stars, I will be shocked, because I just know that this is gonna hit. I know that this is an absolute masterpiece. So if it's not 5 stars, what the fuck is wrong with me? That's the question at this point. Do I know much about this? No. All I know is it dystopian? ? And Octavia Butler is a master of her work. So, yay. Then we have a cozy fantasy, which came out from Bindery Books. My receipt's poking out the top. That's unruly. From Bindery Books, this is House of Frank by Kay Sinclair. I think out of all the cozy fantasy books that I'm aware of at the moment, this one has the highest probability of being a 5-star for me, because it just feels like it's going to pack a punch, because it deals with grief. It deals with really heavy emotions, and I just have a feeling about this one. So honestly, that's all I know about this one. I don't know a lot about the plot of this one. So all it says on the back is a warm and hopeful story of a lonely witch consumed by grief who discovers a whimsical cast of characters in a magical arboretum. I'm excited to get to this, and a little daunted, because I feel like this is gonna hit me and I'm just gonna sob. Oh, we have another sequel. I forgot about this. This is The Fractured Dark by Megan E. O'Keefe. This is the second book in this trilogy. I loved The Blighted Stars, which is the first one in this trilogy. Low-key, I'm thinking about rereading it before going into this one, because I now have it on my shelves along with the third one. And this one's just from the library because I couldn't find the second one in stores. I have a feeling about this, because book 1 was a 4.5 star. It was an almost favorite of the year last year. I have a feeling that the second one or the third one is going to absolutely knock it out of the park. I have a feeling I'm going to absolutely eat up this trilogy. I just need to get to it. So book 1 is very like survivalistic, on a planet trying to survive, hence survivalistic. Lots of horror, fungal weirdness, and there's a romance in between it all. I fucking loved it. I ate it up, so I'm excited to see where this one goes. And then the last physical book I have here before we go into the ones that are coming out this year in 2025 that I have high hopes for, we have Murtagh by Christopher Paolini. Why? I don't know. I have not heard good things about this book. I don't think I've heard many things at all about this book. Have I? If I've heard anything about this book, it's either like someone who was like, this was actually really disappointing, or it's someone who is like, I actually really enjoyed this, but I don't know if you will. But I have, not high hopes, but I have interesting beliefs about my love of this book. I have a feeling that this is going to be not necessarily like a cozy fantasy, because it's Christopher Paolini and she's chunky. It's a chunky fantasy book. But it's like more of a standalone in the series, even though it's set after the original Eragon series. But I've heard that it's just slower, and I think that that's gonna hit so good with Murtagh as a character. I have high hopes for this one. Very tentative high hopes, but I have hopes. I have hopes. So those are the books that I physically own that I think are gonna be 5 stars. I have my Goodreads board here that is all my 2025 releases. Let's talk about the ones that I think are gonna be 5 stars. Number 1, The Possession of Alba Diaz by Isabel Cañas. This was not in my original like 2025 releases video that I did, because I only found out about it like a couple weeks ago. And oh my god, do I think this is gonna be 5 stars, because Isabel Cañas' The Hacienda and The Vampires of El Norte was just so good. I cannot wait for this one. This one is when a demonic presence awakens deep in a Mexican silver mine, the young woman it seizes must turn to one man she shouldn't trust. I want this so badly. The cover is stunning. I have a good feeling about that one. I have a weird feeling about the death of the author. And I'm really tentative to say that this one is a 5-star prediction, because I've read Nnedi Okorafor before. I didn't like Binti, but I've read another one of hers before that in university, and I enjoyed that one. But it's been so long since I've read a book by Nnedi Okorafor, so I don't know, but I have a feeling about this one being really good. So we'll see. Another one that is sort of a sequel is The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. This is the second book in her Spell Shop world. I have high hopes for this one because the first one was 5 stars. This one just sounds amazing. This follows a character that is mentioned in book 1. It's a different island than book 1, but I'm excited to get back into this whimsical, lovely world that she has painted. And Sarah Durst is one of my favorites, so we just love that. Another one, Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. I know very little about this other than the fact that Catabasis, the word, is the meaning of, like, in Greek is like the descent into the underworld, which is kind of what this story involves. So I'm excited. I have high hopes. This feels like it's gonna go back into the realm of Babel from R.F. Kuang, but that was a 5 star for me, so I have high hopes. And then I believe that Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales, which is book 3 in Heather Fawcett's trilogy. I think that one's gonna be a 5 star as well because I absolutely loved book 2. I can't wait for this third one. I really, really can't. And this is just lovely, light academia, cozy vibes, the best. And then another third book in a series. There's a lot of third books in a series that I'm hoping are 5 stars this year. Red Tempest Brother by Hannah Long, by H.M. Long. The conclusion of the Winter Sea series is coming out this year. I'm so excited. It's the only Hannah Long book we're getting this year, and I'm so excited because you guys know how much I love Hannah Long. This series has just been absolutely phenomenal so far, so I cannot wait for the finale. It's gonna be so good. I'm also gonna say Strength of the Few by James Islington, which is projected to come out in September of this year because The Will of the Many was great. Not quite a 5 star, but I absolutely loved James Islington's The Shadow of What Was Lost, which is the first one of his other trilogy. But The Will of the Many, a banger. So I have high hopes for The Strength of the Few. Really high hopes, in fact. And then I also have really high hopes for The Witch's Guide, or A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sango Mardana, because her previous book in this same world, which is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, is one of my favorite books of all time. 5 stars, 6 stars, amazing. So I have really high hopes for this one. Like, I'm so excited to go back into that world. And then finally, I'm gonna say The Ashfire King by Chelsea Abdullah, because when I read the first one in the series, The Stardust Thief, that one was 5 stars for me. I don't know if it's still 5 stars, I have to reread it, but that one was 5 stars when I first read it. So I have high hopes for the sequel that we have been waiting for fucking ever for. So love that. And then I'm putting it into the universe, I guess. We'll do this last one, Electra the Ninth. If this one doesn't come out this year, I'm going to sob. Where is it, Tor? Give us something. Breadcrumbs of something, please. I need my babies back. My God. Anyways, friends, there's a lot more that are coming out this year that I think are going to be 5 stars than are actually on my physical shelves. Otherwise, I have a lot of hopes for the books that I'm hoping to read this year. So let me know in the comments any of yours that you think are going to be 5 stars. This video is so fast. That's okay. We like a little bit of short videos every once in a while, don't we? I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, as I said down below, if you have any 5-star predictions for yourself. If any of the books that I mentioned today you have read or you are going to read are also your 5-star predictions, please let me know. I love to chat with you guys in the comments. You guys know that. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in another video very soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.